Welcome to WBQuote, Word& Brown's quoting platform. This is your one-stop quoting tool. Faster performance, simpler navigation, and the ability to manage everything from a quick summary quote to a full package comparison in one place. I'm going to walk you through it page by page, and along the way, I'll point out a number of features that are easy to miss, but save real time once you know they're there. To log in, you're going to go and use any credential that you've already used with Word& Brown. So whether that's on our website or on our older quoting technology. Same login, same password. And if you don't have those, you're welcome to register. If you're licensed, we'll grant you access. Slight tangent. Please enable MFA, two-step verification. This is the best way to secure your account and your client's data. It's very important that you do that. I know it takes a couple extra seconds when you're logging in, but it's well worth your while. Up on the upper right, you can click Create a Quote, and that's how you begin the quoting process. But before we get there, this grid itself on the display, this is yours to shape. You can show or hide columns. A few core ones are locked, so you can't lose them. And you can drag columns into the order that you want them in. Any order that you place will survive between logins, so you'll be able to come back to a display that has been customized to your preference. Every column sorts ascending or descending, and you can filter the list down. So say I only wanted to see the completed quotes. Your default view sorts by last modified, so your most recent work is always at the top. And down here, you can load up to 100 quotes at a time. It stays fast even at the top end. Now I'm going to click Create a Quote so that we can begin the quoting process. Our quote details a truly familiar starting point. Group name, zip code, SIC classification, and effective date, and a couple of convenience that make entry a breeze. First and foremost, if you type in a group that was previously quoted, we'll pull that data in for you. Secondly, your zip code. If by chance your group happens to fall in a multi-county zip, we'll give you both of those counties so that you can quickly and easily grab the right one. That makes rating accurate. You'll also have access to the effective date here. Choose an effective date, and you'll immediately be able to see in the view carriers which medical carriers will be available for the quote before you've entered a single employee. That little checkup up front saves you time from building out a quote only to find the carrier you wanted isn't offered at that effective date yet. Remember, if you choose one of the furthest out effective dates, it's very possible that a carrier has not allowed us to present their rates yet. So be mindful of looking that up before you enter a quote if you're at the very latest effective date. One thing you'll notice on here, the tabs guide you. The Census tab on the Generate button stays disabled until all the basics are in. So the page is always telling you what it needs next. No guessing about what steps come first. Well, now that I have those entered, I can go ahead and click Next. And here's your census. You've got a few ways to build it. First and easiest, import it. You can import it off of an Excel file. You can import it off of our Word& Brown census template, which is available to you right here. Mostly going to be a copy and paste into the template. If you use one of our other templates that are out there for HRIS solutions or other vendor platforms that we employ or work with, we've pre-formatted their templates to be imported into our application as well. If you find that yours doesn't work and it's going to be one that you regularly encounter and want to use in our quote, send it along our way. We'll be happy to make sure that it works for you in all of your subsequent visits. And of course, you can add employees manually. You can add up to 5 at a time right here, or you can type in a custom number and it will add those rows. And then hands to keyboard, you can type all that data in. And of course, once you've got your census data in here, it doesn't have to stay stuck. You can export that data. So build your fully insured quote inside a Word& Brown quote. You can export your census data and generate your RFP. Of course, like I said, my favorite way is to import. So I'm going to go ahead and pull in a census that I've previously used. It'll automatically import the data the minute I drop it into the application. No second button to click. And it confirms when it's done. If your file has any errors, it'll tell you what's wrong so you can fix it. When you land back on the census page, you're going to see a number of things. First and foremost, this stats bar, it's going to show you the in-state employees, the in-state dependent, and the out-of-state employees. And you'll be able to see what state they're in, so you can immediately understand what the lay of your marketplace is going to look like and which carriers might be able to accept your customer. You'll also receive overage dependent notifications. These don't prevent you from quoting. In fact, they're just there to warn you so that because you have alternatives in how you arrange insurance for these folks. Especially at 95, she might need another layer of care or another alternative or addition to Medicare. This just allows you to take advantage of knowing that information so that you can best serve your client. This is the carriers and plans page, essentially your custom access to a marketplace comparison. When you come into a new quote, it defaults to carriers and plans right here. And if you'd rather build packages, you can do so right here instead, and we'll get to that next. For now, let's stay on carriers and plans because there's a lot of capability packed into this page. Number one, you can use it as a summary quote. An important one for anyone who lived in the old summary quote era. There isn't a separate quote type anymore, and you don't need one. You build a summary quote right here by selecting a carrier and pulling in all of its plans, and then choosing the summary pages when you export. So the workflow you relied on hasn't gone away. It just lives on this page now. So here I can choose California choice. You see the plans below load incredibly rapidly thanks to our new architecture and system. You select all of the plans. Now they're in your quote. And of course, because you can pull in a lot of plans, a carrier can have well over 100. This page is built to help you manage something of that size. Here are the tools. You can filter and search. In fact, my favorite feature is this search bar right here. You can search by plan name. You can search by codes. So like Anthem and United Healthcare have those 4-digit or 5-digit codes at the end of their plan names. Those will search as well. And this is how you go from hundreds of plans down to a handful you actually want to review. You have sticky filters. So once you set your favorite networks and tiers, every new quote opens already filtered your way. You'll notice it may say something like 66 out of 266 because it's holding the filters from last time. When you want everything back, one clear filters button resets it all. Additionally, you can include and exclude HSA and INF plans. Those are all existing under the plan type display. So down here, you can include or exclude these with a single click of a button. In the middle of a page, you can see your excluded carriers. So for example, I can look up here and I can see that some of my carriers are not going to quote this group because I have a single out-of-state employee. They simply don't have the network to support the group, so they won't be included in your quote. Down at the bottom, we've given you plenty of space, but you can always click expand and hide to expand and collapse this section of the page. And then you have an internal scroll that allows you to scroll through all of the plans so you can see a large number of them at any given time. That helps you with any long lists of plans, that inside scroll. And of course, you always have a back to the top. So over here, you go back to the top immediately by clicking. And then, of course, I can always hide that and go back into my quote. Now I can see all of the plans that I've selected. I have a smart default sort on this page, plan order, plan type, and then total premium. So similar plans group together automatically by default. I'm going to choose just a few different carriers here. So when you select more than one carrier, you can select the networks that work for each. You see here, I've got my 3 carriers that I've selected. I can go through and I can pull out networks that I don't want to see. One other incredibly useful feature on this page, your order that you apply the plans in, that's the output order. So the story that you are crafting to tell your customer when you go to present this is your story, and you can create it however you want it to flow. Additionally here, aside from just reordering by plans, I can also click these to reorder by things like premium. It'll allow me to confirm that I really want to do that. If you have a lot of plans in there, sometimes that can be a little tricky if you've made some rearrangements on the other parts. But definitely take advantage of those because it will quickly and easily reorder things for you. And if your quote doesn't include everything that you need in order to be successful, you won't be able to proceed. You'll get shown a little message that you need to commit an action on a particular quote type. And then if you go into that quote type, you'll see exactly what it is that you need to do. In this case, I don't have a PPO plan to cover my out-of-state employee, so I'll go ahead and select that now. Dental and vision work exactly the same way. The one difference on dental is that you have a couple of questions. There's a prior dental coverage question. And if you select Aetna, you'll see a participation percent field. That defaults to 75, which you can adjust. And at any point, the quote selections panel available on every page gives you a running summary of what you've chosen, carriers, plans per carrier, by product line, with edit links to jump straight back in. Back on the medical page, let's deep dive into packages. In packages, you're going to build things like current and renewal and comparable packages that you want to go and show your customer. Most of you will start here with current and renewal. The beautiful thing about this is you're going to build your current package. So plan selections, contributions, plan assignments, and everything's going to get carried over into the renewal automatically. Additionally here, and I've never seen anything like this before anywhere else, you have the ability to apply a triple wrap. So you can come in here and you can select multiple carriers to fill in additional plans, additional contributions, additional plan assignments into your package. My wrap has also carried over into my renewal. It has loaded my HMO and my PPO from Anthem, and I'm ready to go. So now that I've got my current renewal in there, you can see here my package option is lit up. You have the ability to copy a package. One click copies the package, and then you tweak the copy. So if you're quoting steps up or steps down for your renewing customers within the incumbent carrier, you have a very easy way to tweak just the little things in order to be able to create those presentations very quickly. It's the fastest way to build the same thing, one plan, different comparisons without rebuilding from zero. So now that I've got my Vivity replacement plan in there, I want to place that plan right at the top. It's going to be very helpful if you order your plans the same way. So if I have my HMO plan at the very top, my PPO plan in the middle, and my Kaiser plan at the bottom, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Now that I've replaced my HMO plan, you see I've got 14 unassigned, and I have to go in and make those assignments. There's going to be a very quick and easy way for me to do that, and I will get in there and show you that in just a moment. First, I want to draw your attention to this cost panel. So every package shows a percent difference against current and renewal at a glance, down to the employer cost and the employee cost once you've added contributions. So the comparison you're trying to make that is right in front of you. On packages, you've got the ability to add a provider, which takes you into the provider search to attach providers to the quote. This will allow you to perform a provider match so that you can see where your provider is going to be covered. These might just be the providers for a very important person at the organization that will help you kind of drive towards one carrier or one set of networks or an alternative. It's a quick and easy way to spot differences, all based on carrier provider network data that is updated weekly. And one nice bit of flexibility, package quoting and carriers and plans can live on the same quote across product lines. You might run a medical as packages and a dental and vision as carriers and plans. You're not locked into one approach. Let's talk contributions because there's more here than meets the eye. And one clarification we're stating plainly up front. Contributions live on packages. On a carriers and plans quote, there's no contribution step. That's by design. So everything I'm about to show you is only in the packages world. You can set contributions as a percentage or a dollar amount, and you can set them per package or apply the same contribution across all your packages at once. And then you choose what the contribution is based on. You have your options down here, any plan, lowest cost plan, which is lowest cost plan per employee, or a specific plan that you pick. Now, the part that's easy to miss. Inside a wrap, remember, up to 3 carriers in one package, you can turn on apply a different contribution per carrier. So remember how I had my packages with Anthem and Kaiser? That lets you say 1% for Anthem and another percentage for Kaiser within the same package. One note, so it's clear, within a wrap, each carrier uses the same contribution type. So that's percentage or dollar. But the amounts can differ per carrier. Next, we'll move on to plan assignment. This is where employee meets plan. And the good news is the system has already done the first pass. The moment you build a package, every employee is auto-assigned to the first eligible plan, which means you could generate the quote immediately. From there, you fine-tune. This is the right place to clear up out-of-state employees because it's the question that trips people up. Here's where WBQuote handles them. Out-of-state employees generally can't sit on any in-area HMO. They need a PPO that can cover them across those state lines. WBQuote knows this. When an out-of-state employee is on the census, the system grays out the plans that can't cover them and steers them to quote into the PPO that can. It's not being fussy. It's making sure your out-of-state people actually have a plan that works. As soon as you select that PPO, the out-of-state employees map to it automatically. And if you haven't selected one yet, you'll see no plan selected against them. That's your cue to add a PPO before you can generate. The messaging is consistent. The system won't let an out-of-state employee fall through the cracks. No generating your quote and finding an unrated employee. When you first land on the assigned plans page, you're going to be assigning plans for one package. But my favorite trick is to switch into the assigned plans for all packages. This shows you all your packages on one screen, allows you to change things like your default plan selection. So if I want to drop my people into my prudent buyer PPO plan, all of my people who qualify for that plan are automatically applied to it. And you'll see that it actually rolls all of the plan assignments across the screen. So this is where plan alignment on the last screen, where I had my HMOs first, my PPO second, and my Kaiser plan third. This is where that alignment really pays off because it will roll everything for you and it's all automated. Got 10 packages, it'll roll across all 10, no problem. So you can assign them all in one view. Census is on the left, every package side by side, dependents and totals visible as you go. Once you get back to your main page in your quote and you're seeing your packages, it's very quick and easy to eyeball the differences. So you can see here that all of my costs and cost breakdowns have all been updated. I can now see quickly and accurately the reflection of percent difference between contributions and costs. I can also see that all of my employees landed on the correct plan. Uniform plan assignment all the way across the screen tells me that I've done an excellent job. And I can also see there are no errors on the page, so I'm able to proceed on and generate my quote. When you're ready, this is where you produce the output. You pick the pages that you want, you choose PDF or Excel, and you generate. Hover over any page and get a live preview of what it looked like before you commit to choosing it. A couple of smart behaviors save you clicks. Auto refresh. If you go back and make a census change that doesn't affect your plan selections, you come straight back to generate. No clicking through every tab again. If a change does affect selections, the system tells you exactly what needs attention. If you change the effective date and the system revalidates the entire quote against current plan availability, swaps in replacement plans where it can, and shows you exactly what changed per product line, including anything that it couldn't replace so you can fix it. It's doing the tedious cross-checking for you. And then up in the corner, once you've got everything set, you hit export quote. We're going to give you a nice message of success and we're going to drop you back into the dashboard. At which point you'll see your quote go into a ready status. You'll also see up in the upper right-hand corner this bell, which is going to tell you what's going on at any step in the game. Once your quote lands on completed status, you can go into your actions menu. And inside of your actions menu, you'll see the ability to export the quote that you've just created. That by default will take you into our share file account. You can download, and you'll download a PDF document that you can print. You can extract components and drop them into your PowerPoint presentations, or you can just take it all and digitally send it to your customer. And here's the deliverable. It's a clean proposal. Second page is a table of contents where you can click the link and be taken to a page instead of scrolling. You'll see benefit summaries, rate comparisons, the census, footnote detail, footnotes. The footnotes are linked to the exact item they explain, so nothing needs decoding. The marker on the benefit row points to its note. Comparisons are laid out so differences surface for the eye rather than making you hunt. The piece I want to emphasize is that you decide what's in. The output bends to your needs, not the other way around. So when you're choosing your pages on the export page, you select exactly which pages go in. That's how you turn the same quote into a tight summary or a full detailed proposal. Pick the summary pages for a high-level look or include everything for the deep version. This is how the carriers and plans summary quote we built earlier comes out in the true summary. PDF or Excel, you choose the format that fits and how you want it to work. A polished PDF to send or an Excel that you want to slice and make your own. Worksheets and contribution pages are also available to you. You can include ancillary worksheets for dental, vision, and life, and the employee contribution pages for your covered lines, so the output matches the conversation you're actually having with the group. One really nice feature is that you can iterate on something that you've already generated. You can go back into the export quote, and let's say you've made it to a subsequent stage in the conversation with your customer. You can drop any of these pages that you don't need included anymore. So let's say the customer didn't want dental. You can come back in here quickly and easily and re-export the quote. It'll regenerate in a matter of seconds, and you'll have access to that updated quote. That's WBQuote end-to-end. Dashboard, quote details, census, carriers and plans, packages, contributions, plan assignments, and the output. There are easily another few dozen small touches we didn't stop on, but you'll find them as you go, and they all point the same direction. Fewer clicks, fewer dead ends, and a proposal you're proud to send. The best way to get comfortable is to get in and build one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you online.